hard on yourself, Mrs. Wright. Ultimately, you were the victim. You did the right thing.
I know, it's been nearly 2 years, and I just can't seem to see it that way. I know the trial declared me innocent, but why do I feel so guilty?
What is it? Are the nightmares back again?
They've been back for a couple of months now. I just keep reimagining it. The rope, the cold hard stare, his body becoming limp.
You can't think like that. You saved yourself. You gotta remember all the nights that your body became limp after becoming unconscious from the beatings. It was for him or you. That isn't your fault. He put himself into that situation.
You don't understand. He beat me, Mr. Hill, beat me, but I killed him.
You're right, Mrs. Wright, but I do not understand. So why don't you go talk to someone who does?
And tell them what I've done? Are you crazy?
No, not tell them what you've done, but find some help. Talk about the reoccurring nightmares and the beatings, not the murder. But there are groups that only discuss the symptoms, not the tragedy. Why don't you enroll in a counseling group?
You know what? Maybe you're right. It's time for me to reconnect with someone. No one will ever understand the depression and the guilt I feel, but it's worth a shot.
No one understands. I'm not such an awful person that you make me out to be.
You cannot just stay out all night with your stoner boyfriend. You're a child, Kara. Do you want to end up with a baby?
I'm not like you. You're such a hypocrite. He is not a stoner. Look at him. God.
Staying out all night with your boyfriend and not telling your parents where you are is not okay. Why can't you just talk to me? Let me know what's going on.
I will talk, but I won't talk to you. You're such a hypocrite, and I refuse. You call me mean names, I'm not doing it.
Well, if you're not going to talk to me, why not talk to someone else? What about counseling?
I will if he goes too.
I'm not going to counseling. I don't need counseling.
With your attitude problem, you're so disrespectful. You obviously need counseling if I do.
Not to mention your drug problem.
Okay.
Oh my God. Okay, we'll go.
Here is Vernon and Lucy sitting at a table having dinner together. They are having a major disagreement about the meal he has prepared for her. After their recent breakup, Lucy has decided to make some life choices trying to better her overall health. One of those choices included becoming vegetarian. Clearly, Vernon feels insulted by the life choice and wishes to gain control of Lucy again. As he grows angrier and continues to yell, Lucy gives in and eats the steak. Days have passed. Vernon and Lucy are now sitting in the living room having a quiet discussion.
Cut.
Why not? You would talk anyways.
Well, I feel very uncomfortable about the other night. I was very sure in my decision, and I do not like the fact that you forced me to do something I didn't want to do.
Well, you're so dramatic. I did not force you to do anything. I'm just showing you that you're simply missing out on life by making stupid decisions.
I don't know why, but it seems like I could never say no to you. But that changed today. I recently just started counseling, and I've come to the realization that you don't control me. I'm breaking up with you. Now, is that for a stupid decision?
It wasn't a big deal. It wasn't a big deal. I just wanted him to be happy, for us to be happy. And that is what had happened.
I don't know, Julie. You really haven't seen me stop talking about it since you've been home. Are you sure you're like a little bit upset? I mean, it is okay.
I have not. I do not even want to talk about it. I'm not upset. I'm fine.
So are you trying to convince me or you?
What are you suggesting, Lizzie?
Just saying, maybe it wouldn't hurt to talk to someone. You know, I really just started counseling, and you have no idea how much it's helped me just to, talk about things.
Do you think it can clear my conscience? I know what I did is the right thing. So why did he leave?
Well, my counselor is a guy, so why not get his opinion? I think you should join the group. I mean, it can't hurt, and maybe you can always do it.
Okay. I think that.
The street was crowded, but Richard Corey's mind was even more crowded. He attempted to socialize, but no one took any interest in him. As he walked down the street, the bypassers admired him. but only if they knew what was going on in his mind. He was a counselor. He could help others. But who was there to help him? If they only knew.
To see y'all today.
Any day after the year isn't a good day.
Could you be any more negative?
I could like you two lovebirds, just be happy that we're here alive.
Can we not use that word, alive?
Yeah, not everyone is alive, dude.
Let's not start off so hostile. How about we go around the room and introduce ourselves again? I'll start. I'm Richard, and I will be leading the group today.
My name is Ishmael, and I'm here because someone drove me here.
Well, my name is Kara, and I am here off my wicked mother's suggestion. And due to the fact that Ishmael got drugged into this, is due to drugs.
My name is Jake, and I'm here because I'm a very bad decision. And my friends, Lucy mainly, felt that this could help me move on.
Well, my name is Lucy, and I'm here because, like Jig, I've experienced some hard things in life, and I feel like this will help me understand why.
My name is Mimi, and like Jig mentioned earlier, I'm here because not everyone knows.
Hello, Minnie. It's nice to meet you, and it's nice to meet everyone. Today's topic will be about struggles. Because from the introduction, I can tell we are all struggling with something. Clearly. Would anyone like to go in more depth about what they're struggling with today?
Well, like I said earlier, I was drugged here. So not all of us are struggling.
Well, maybe some of us are struggling, so how about not being so judgmental?
Ishmael, shut up.
Well, since I'm clearly the oldest here, I'll start us off. Earlier I mentioned that not everyone lives. I didn't mean to make anyone uncomfortable by saying that, but what I mean is I've recently suffered from a loss. I might have even caused the loss, actually, but I've struggled with the issue of guilt, and while I'm not sure I'm the only one here who has, I'm more than likely the only one willing to admit it.
No, you're not. I'm currently struggling with something right now, too. It probably isn't the same reason as you, but I am.
Well, how about we go more into detail? Minnie, why don't you tell us more about why you feel as if you have caused the issue?
To be frank, I killed someone, more specifically, my husband.
Okay.
Hey, Paul.
How about we not move that fast? Anybody else like to discuss what they're feeling today?
Well, how about not? Because we're out of time. And unlike y'all nutbags, I just messed it all up. Well, how about we not? Because we're out of time. And unlike y'all nutbags, I don't need to waste my time. Later, Richard.
I also feel that we could all use a breath of fresh air. We'll pick up next time. It's dismissed.
Well, funny seeing you here.
Well, I try to not introduce myself based off my profession. I am just one of my job.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I just didn't see you as someone willing to help people.
Well, most of the time, I try not to introduce myself based on my profession. I am more than my job.
No, I didn't mean it like that. You just didn't seem like the type of person willing to help somebody.
Well, honestly, you don't seem like the type that needs help.
I guess we all have our flaws, don't we?
It's nice to see the gang all back together. Right, guys?
How about we be a little more professional today? We are not your gang, and we are your counseling group.
Well, you seem unusually irritated today. Let's start with you, Jig. What brings you to our group?
Why me? Why pick me where we left off with Miss Wright?
Minnie has told us the basic issues that she has been struggling with so far. Why don't you take your turn?
Okay, well, honestly, I'm here because of guilt. I feel guilty because I made a decision to influence a guy to stay with me and did not work his plan.
What kind of decision did you make, Jake?
I killed my own poor child.
Alright, so far we have heard two group members' testimonies, both whom are here because of guilt. Moral of the story, everyone may have been wondering how you relate and why you have all been placed in this specific session together. Truth is, we are all struggling. Everyone's problem correlates in some aspect.
Well, I guess I'll go next. I'm here today because I'm struggling with forgiveness, and like many of us, I've experienced bad parts in life. I'm currently recovering from an abusive relationship, and like the rest of you, I've suffered a lot of self-doubt, and I'm here today because I'm hoping I can gain some self-confidence back.
You don't exactly look like the person that's struggling with self-confidence.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, you're gorgeous, and you seem so happy. I really can't picture someone like you struggling with something like that.
This is actually a good topic to come to. Life isn't always what you picture it to be. People aren't always who you picture them to be. Everyone has struggles that you would never imagine.
What do you take it?
You want to talk to Mr. Richard, Mr. Perfect, the nice guy, the hot guy. You don't know anything about struggles.
You'd be surprised, Ishmael. Your girlfriend mentioned something about you being here because of a bad attitude, which I can already see. And drugs? Would you like to talk about where your drug problem stemmed from?
I use marijuana recreationally. I do not have a drug problem.
Well, marijuana is a drug, and it is illegal. So, I would, or say you do, but I'm not here to judge. Tell me about what started your recreational use. Bad decisions or dramatic life changes?
Ishmael, problems? That boy doesn't know anything about problems.
Like they mentioned earlier, people aren't always who they picture to be.
Ishmael, why haven't you talked to me about this?
We all have things we don't want to talk about. What about you, Kara? What brings you here today?
My mother mostly.
What about your mother? Are you saying you're forced to attend counseling?
To an extent, but I can relate to Lucy about wanting to gain the self-confidence back. See, my mother is extremely judgmental and honestly is a hypocrite.
So once again, here we have an example of people relating who never thought they would. Right, Kara?
Right.
What about you, Mr. Corey? Who do you relate to?
Well, Minnie, that discussion is for another time. Class dismissed.
A discussion for another time. When will that be?
Maybe now, maybe never, maybe later.
Well, you have to relate to someone.
I do. I relate to you, Minnie.
Me? Why me? Me? Why me?
Maybe this isn't the best conversation for this. You're talking outside of sessions? I mean, it is my job to help you. I'm not here to talk about my problems
Everyone needs someone to talk to. Yes, that's fine. Give me a time and a place, and we can meet to discuss what is wrong with the one and only perfect Mr. Richard Corey.
Tuesday afternoon, the coffee shop.
Yeah.
Around 7?
Sounds wonderful.
Good.
Hi, Mr. Richard.
Hi, man. Take a seat.
Gladly. I'm actually shocked you're here.
Why is that?
Well, most people don't enjoy talking about their problems, especially someone who has a reputation to uphold such as you.
Reputation? Last thing I care about at this point is my reputation. I'm just searching for happiness.
You're not happy.
Well, I have done my research. And you, out of all people, should know what it is like to appear happy on the outside and be completely crushed on the inside.
What do you mean by your research?
I could be mistaken, but did you not confess your murder? You murdered your husband?
So are you implying that you know why I killed him? Are you attempting to justify the murder I committed?
I'm not justifying anything, but it is understandable. There was an awful human being walking this earth. It is possibly threatening your happiness. It also shows why you took care of the issue.
Well, I consider it more than a threat to my happiness. What many people don't know is he actually threatened my life.
Oh my lord. Me. So, I had no idea.
It's fine. Most didn't know the abuse that I suffer daily, and technically I didn't murder anyone. The court ruled me innocent. Innocent until proven guilty, you know.
I completely understand. Honestly, you probably didn't.
A favor? How do you consider me convincing someone they're better off as dead a favor?
What if you wanted to be dead?
Mr. Richard, I sense your pain. Is there something you need to tell me?
No one gets it. You will never understand me. To you, to everyone, I'm this perfect guy. I seem to have it all together. I am rich. I'm handsome. I help others, but why is it that never anyone wants to help me?
To help you? What do you need help with, Mr. Richard?
I am suffering. I cannot find happiness in others. I cannot connect with others. Except maybe you.
Me?
Yes, you and me. You let all people know it is it was like to be suffering for long periods of time. But your suffering is caused by someone else, not by yourself.
You just have to find happiness, Richard. There has to be something out there that you enjoy.
I enjoy your presence.
My presence? You do not want my presence. You can't have my presence. I'm an awful person, Mr. Richard. It's best that you don't get involved with me.
If I cannot have you, I will never be happy. And since you obviously know how to deal with pain so well, tell me what to do.
I cannot tell you what to do, Mr. Richard. I can only share my experiences with you and hope that it shines a light on yours.
You ended your suffering, maybe I should end mine.
Those were your words, not mine. But you're such an amazing man. You don't deserve to suffer. If ending the pain is what brings you happiness, then who am I to influence your decision? I mean, you have clearly decided to do it, haven't you, Mr. Richard?
I don't know. It seems a bit drastic now that I think about it. Do you think I could potentially or possibly a bit dramatic about the situation? Maybe I think I am a little bit.
I feel that the only thing that is dramatic here is the fact that you told me you would make yourself happy, which is all I've ever wanted for anybody, and now you're trying to go back on your word.
No, I'm not. I'm back on my word. Maybe you're right. Maybe I am better off dead.
Why suffer? Why live a miserable life? No one else will understand. They think you're perfect. Maybe this is your only way to show the world you aren't as happy as you appear to be.
I'm not as happy as I appear to be. I just want to stop hurting. Nothing can make this better anymore. Plus, like you said, I've clearly already made my mind.
Not here, not tonight. People will think I made you do it. I can't be proven guilty. The town already thinks I'm a murderer. Do you want them to look? I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3. Not here, not tonight. People will think I made you do it. I can't be proven guilty. The town already thinks I'm a murderer. Do you want to make that worse?
No, this is my decision, not yours. Plus, I would never do that. And not to you.
Okay. As for now, good night, Mr. Richard. We will finish this discussion another time.
Good night, Mr. Smith.
Mr. Richard Corey did, in fact, not wait until another night. It was this night, the night he had the conversation with Mrs. Minnie Wright, that Mr. Richard Corey went home and put a bullet in his head.